Hey folks, Landstryder here, and welcome to episode 55 in season 3 of my Nightmare series. I'm back in the Crash Landing mod pack. This pack's available on the Feed the Beast launcher. It was originally created by Iskandar and is now maintained by Shane2482. So let's get right to the thick of it here. We are updated to 1.1.3 version of the pack. With a few little extra add-ons. So we got a little pre-release stuff in here. So if you see anything that while I'm out exploring and stuff today and you don't see it in your pack, that might be why. But not too much stuff. Just a few little knickknacks that we have extra right now. So one of the big changes in 1.1.3 is we now have chicken chunks loaders. So we can get rid of these expensive Mine Factory Reloaded chunk loaders. Maybe we can get rid of it if I had the proper tool. It probably is going to require that I have an actual crescent hammer or Invar battle wrench. That'll work. Yeah, there we go. So I can pick that up. I no longer need those because I'm going to be using these basically free chunk loaders. These cost no RF or anything. Once you craft them, they are done. And the reason that these were added is because there's a little bit of an issue with sync, where if you are far away from your sync shell and you die, you can end up coming back to your sync shell and kind of phasing through the ground if the chunk is not properly loaded. The sync shell is supposed to load the chunk that it's in, but it's not 100% effective, so that was added for that reason. So I got a chunk loader out here. I want to remove that. I kind of want to pick it up though, just in case. I mean, the things are quite expensive. I guess the only way I'm going to get that is magnet mode. Okay. So I'm going to grab that one. I got, I think, another one around the base here somewhere. So yeah, now this chunk loader is set to a radius of 2. It doesn't cost anything to up that radius or whatever. I'm loading 9 chunks. I'm just trying to be nice to the other folks that play on the server and not load more chunks than I have to. So we can actually turn the lasers on, and that will show us exactly what chunks that it's loading for us. It's kind of hard to see while I'm on the ground, but if I fly up, we can see what chunks it's loading. So it's loading a little bit of the area outside of my base, which is okay. But ultimately, the thing that I'm most concerned about here is that it is loading everything that has bits and pieces of my ME system. Because I want my ME system to be loaded at all times, because if part of it becomes unloaded, it tends to break it. So, and that's why, that is why I'm using this chunk loader now instead. Well, that's why I was using the other chunk loaders too. But now that I have this option, of course I'm going to use the option that doesn't cost me anything to keep going. And it might, let's go ahead and turn those off now. I'm going to get annoying. Hide those lasers. There's a square and circle. Circle loads less chunks, but square is what there's line X, line Y. Those are on the if you just wanted to load 3 chunks in a line, one direction or the other, or you can bump the radius up to get more chunks loaded, etc., etc. Square seems to be what works for best around my little place right here. There's one more I need to remove. Should be down here. There it is. These are ones that I had put in, like I said, to keep all of the different bits and pieces of my ME system loaded so that it wouldn't break. So now we don't have that problem. Another issue that I was running into before I put this chunk loader in, and it hasn't entirely solved the issue, is somehow, even though I have my turbines in vent closed mode, it's a closed system, I'm using Tesseracts to move the fluids around because they're about the only thing that can handle the amount of volume for these things. But I still very slowly lose a small amount of water out of the system somehow. I don't know how, but I am losing a tiny bit of water. Like yesterday at this same time when I was on, I had somewhere around 82,000 or 100, 8,200 millibuckets. So I've lost about 2 buckets of water in a 24-hour period, a real-time 24-hour period. It was much worse. It was much worse before I put the chunk loader in. Like, before I added this chunk loader, I could fill up my system with water and get it, running and everything online, okay, just fine. Come back the next day and it would be completely out of water, completely out of fuel, completely shut down. So apparently you need that chunk loader to keep that going, and it might just be when the server restarted or whatever. I do believe our server restarts once a day automatically. Could just be whenever the server restarted, I lost a bucket of water. Like maybe whatever water or whatever fluid is in the Tesseract when the chunk comes unloaded or the server shuts down, possibly that just gets destroyed. I don't know. The teleporter pods are working pretty good now that I think I've got my system stable up there. Something I did have to do is I added these basic export buses to make sure that these air compressors stay full of coal. And these draw coal out of the main system. I've got a ton of coal from doing all the mining up there with the laser drill. So one of the issues I ran into is like after a long period of being away from the base, being offline on the server, this had run out of coal and the door wouldn't open for me. I think Raccoon had that problem when he came over to my base. We're gonna go take a look at what he did when he was over here in just a moment, because it's pretty cool. And it's also going to lead into the next big change that was made in the 1.1.3 version of the pack. So many recipe changes between 1.1.2 and 1.1.3. Oh, we come out here and we can see that there is a serpent in my garden under my apple tree. And what's this? He apparently he's tempting Eve here into trying to eat these apples. Or maybe he's tempting Eve to get Adam. Hey Adam, how you doing, buddy? You're not gonna eat the apple, right? So yeah, we got I'm a giant snake visiting your base. I can be your new pet, Landstryder. Here's a golden egg for you. So I think that block on there is a block of gold that's been chiseled. So there's another one over here. Maybe this has a clue as to how they got here. I'm her twin sister. I came to offer a golden egg to Shane. By the way, Raccoon sends a hi. Oh. Okay, so this looks like a little prank that Raccoon dropped by. And oh, sorry Adam, I didn't mean to smack you like that. To be honest, I actually added the Eve and the Adam afterwards because that's going to help me explain the next little bit here. So you might notice I've got a lever on this, and it is now turning off the harvester because there's no point in using this harvester. It'll just overflow this chest with bell peppers and tomatoes and berries because these don't ever actually get picked. Oops, I didn't mean to stand on that. Put that stuff back. These don't ever actually get the plants don't get picked, but the berries and the fruits off of them do get picked. So they'll just continuously produce fruit. Eventually that chest will overflow and this thing will start spitting out the back. That's a minor issue. I've just been occasionally taking these and throwing them into my dirt chest to make extra dirt, which is, a good use for it. I've got a lot of dirt now if I needed it. Now, between 1.1.2 and 1.1.3, there has been a major update to the way that tofu can be used. You may remember that this massive food thing is very, very dependent on tofu. Let's see if we can actually back up here for a second. That's seed stock. Components, and I didn't label these out very well, but if we look at any of these crafting recipes, that one still works. Let me find one okay, that one's still... Of course, I'm probably looking at the components is not going to be the place to look for broken recipes. How about we look at the meals, because that's where they're definitely going to be broken. So if we look at the crafting, okay, not that one. Dang it. Crafter, a bunch of these there, yeah. Okay, so here we go. Here's one that should be making a hearty breakfast. But it's not, because firm tofu no longer counts as meat. So that breakfast is broken. And we're also going to find that the burger no longer works. Pretty much every one of the recipes in this will no longer work. So if we look at burger, it's the first crafting where it takes tofu and a toast, it's supposed to make a burger. Won't do it no more, because tofu doesn't count as meat at now in the new update. Apparently I can still make a cheeseburger, because I probably can still make cheese out of tofu, because you use the soy milk to make the cheese. So basically it no longer counts as any kind of meat. The reason that Shane and Iskander decided to do that is because they really, really, really want to force you to do the creating life quests. Now, I kind of thought that was not necessarily the way to go about doing it, and we've had some discussions back and forth about it, and maybe they're going to be coming up with a little bit better reason to do those creating life quests. They're not going to change the tofu recipe, so don't even bother. I've been going back and forth with around and around the circles with them guys. I have to admit that tofu was originally overpowered. Now, hopefully, they're going to take my advice and make it so that the meat ingots that you get from the packager, the meat packager, will then go ahead and count as like a generic meat that you'll be able to use in those recipes. Wow, that broke entirely too easy. Oh yeah, because this thing's really OP for a pick. Be careful with that. So yeah, there's that. Make sure I'm not like in like a crate. No, I'm not in creative mode or anything. Or it wouldn't have dropped block anyway. Sorry. Yeah, I'm getting distracted here. So, yeah, tofu is no longer a protein. And you got to either farm some animals. Well, right now in 1.1.3, you have to farm animals if you want to be able to make any of those top-tier foods. But there's a reason that we have Eve over here. So Eve is kind of here to tempt me, to tempt you all guys. Eve, what's up? So Eve's a villager. So once you get to the point where you can actually do the creating life quests, and you don't want to have a bunch of noisy animals around, you don't want to deal with that kind of, you're a vegetarian or whatever, you don't want to, be cruel to animals and all that. You can just go for the villager, and let's get a villager. And if you don't get the right villager right off the bat, you can go ahead and put them in a spawn net, spawn up a bunch of villagers until you get one of these guys that has an apron on. So when you got the apron guy and you talk to them, they're going to present you with some food options. So here we can see that I can get a full stack of rainbow curry. Now rainbow curry is actually a top tier food. There's if we look at meals, actually feasts, F-A-S-T, feast, we can see that there are 4 top tier foods. These are the highest, best available food that you can get. You can either do the delighted meals, which is what I've been surviving on for a while, the hearty breakfast, rainbow curry, which currently has no recipe in the pack. The only way to get it is trading with the villagers. Now I'm trying to convince Shane into adding a recipe for that for us vegetarians that want to stick to just gardening and not having a bunch of noisy, dirty animals around their base. And the supreme pizza, which does require some kind of form of meat. So you can no longer make any of these with just tofu. You have to have livestock of some sort in order to make those 3. And again, the curry is not currently craftable. I'm going to work with Shane to come up with a decent recipe for that. That will be reasonably hard and require quite a few different ingredients and several crafting steps. But there's no way I'm going to be forced to have animals in my base if I don't want them. I keep these guys around just in case I need a bucket of milk for something, or just in case I need a little bit of wool. I had a pig, but it really served no purpose, so I didn't replace it when I accidentally killed him. So let's take an emerald and get a full stack of rainbow curry. Alright, there we go. Food for like weeks of in-game play. Never have to worry about food again. All you need is a villager. And actually, she's going to have, in a second here, she's going to have another trade. And we'll see what that is. It's probably going to be something equally as overpowered. So there we go. Spaghetti and meatballs, a large meal for a full stack of it for 1 emerald. So, Shane swears up and down he's going to find a way to nerf that in the 1.1.4, which is also why I'm trying to encourage him to giving a recipe for the rainbow curry, so that us folks that just want to have a garden and be vegetarians and not be cruel to animals, we can survive and have our top tier feast meals. So that's going to change something up here. So we want to change this up here to keep a rainbow curry on hand. Because eventually I'm going to run out of these delighted meals. So what I want to do is set up my refillers. There we go. Somewhere in here. So we're going to add a new refiller. So this one, the food, this is actually going to be changed to delighted, or to the rainbow curry. There we go. Oop. Cancel that. Change this. Rainbow. There we go. Rainbow curry. And it should already be specific amount 1. Yes. Okay. Actually, no. It's detecting, and the first one's detecting. It doesn't need to be a specific amount. So rainbow curry, and then it's also going to go ahead and grab rainbow curry. And finally, the output down here is going to be... Oh, I don't need to change that. So I just need to change it on the input and the detection. So now it's going to look for rainbow curry in my inventory and go ahead and make sure that I have some of that. So when these delighted meals run out, which is probably going to be somewhat soon, because remember, this crafting, the food crafting system that I had is no longer going to work. Pretty much, unless I go back through and set up an actual animal farm where I can get meat, none of these recipes are valid anymore. So this thing does not work. So when you get the world download, if you get the world download, that I'm going to be releasing with this episode. Oh yes, there's some new news. Yes, the world download will be out with this episode. It's going to have most of most of everybody's bases are more or less done. The only one still working on their base, and it's like only half complete or less, is Palindrome. You have to go over to her channel and be sure and bug her about that. Tell her to get her base done. Because I will give out one final world download after this, because remember, this is just a special episode, and the last couple episodes are going to be special episodes where I talk about where we're going to be working on stuff that's going to be coming out with the 1.1.4 or the 2.0. We're not sure which version number is actually going to be, because the next update after 1.1.3 should be the final update. There's going to be a lot of quests added into that update. Now, there was no real major quest changes in this update, just a lot of recipe changes and a few game mechanic changes. So, and the cities got changed quite a bit. We're going to go take a look at that here in a second. So, but that's the tofu issue. Like I said, you can overcome that with a villager. Really simple. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and, if Shane is going to nerf that in the next update, I want to make sure that I have enough rainbow curry forever. So let's go ahead and grab some more emeralds. Just get a whole stack of them. And we'll come out here. I don't know if doing that same trade is going to help. Actually, let's see what all the trades are. We'll unlock a few trades here. We'll get the spaghetti and meatballs. I don't need the spaghetti and meatballs. But I do believe that is one of the, that's one of the foods that this thing used to craft. And may still actually, no, can't craft the meatballs because they were made from tofu before, and now they can't be. So it can make the spaghetti, but not the spaghetti and meatballs. So let's see what our next trade is. Leather boots for 3 emeralds. We'll just do that one so we can see what's after that. Might as well go ahead and unlock all the trades. Elvis, you have nothing I want. Sorry, buddy. Let's see. No, not done. Not done. You done? Unlock a trade yet? No. Didn't unlock a trade. Maybe I'll get some more rainbow curry. See if that unlocks anything. I don't see no little sparkly thingies. Might not have any trades after this. We'll just yeah, visual glitch there. For a moment it looked like I had a bunch more boots than I did, but I don't. You can only trade up to 7 times. And it'll show it for a second, and then it'll realize that you didn't actually get those items. So let's see if that unlocked another trade afterwards. Oh, it did. Okay, so some leather chests. I don't need those, but I will go ahead and like trade for them just to see if I can unlock something good. Come on. Finish your little particle effect thing so I can check the next trade. And there we go. Hearty breakfast. Not bad. We'll get some of those. Just for future. Alright. So now back to some breakfast. Or yeah, here. You know what I gotta do? I need to get rid of this leather. This leather is basically garbage. We'll just toss all those. Just got them for the trade so I could unlock and see what was after. But I want to get a ton of this rainbow curry. Yeah, as much of it as I can. Oh, she's got the emeralds in there. There we go. I got them back. Apparently I still have a tunic. Okay, and a pair of boots. But there we go. Tons of food. Tons of food. I'll never have to worry about food ever again. Because of my villager, my Eve, tempting me to break the rules. That's what she does. So anyway, guys, the next major thing to talk about is going to be the change to the way that you would put together a smeltery. So before, like way back, you could get grout and stuff, and that changed. Then you had to go to the village and get the cities and get the stuff. And now it's become even maybe a little bit harder yet. So now instead of just finding these blocks in the city, you find broken versions of those blocks, and then you have to convert them over into making the parts that you need. So let's see. I got some cities that I have gone out in the desert and found previous. So let me go to the first city, and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, here we are outside of a town. Now there's 3 types of cities now. There's towns, there's industrial village or cities, and there's commercial cities. And I think there's 2 different versions of each. Like they can be buried, like really deeply buried, and then there's like a 4 deep buried, and there's like a 10 deep buried. So this is a 4 deep buried town. And you can see that like these houses, the majority of them are like down there under the dust. And it makes them a little extra dangerous because there's going to be all kinds of mobs and stuff in here. Oh, perfect, perfect. This one has, I need some torches or something. Would be good. Yeah, I actually have torches. Good. Okay, this is a perfect example. Okay, these blocks. These blocks are a little bit of a mistake on Shane's part. It's not a big deal. They won't wreck your game or nothing. They're supposed to be dust, basically, is what it amounts to. Somewhere down here, there must be a... Okay, so I know I'm wearing my thing. There must be a spawner down in here somewhere. I'm gonna look for that. Okay, so if you hit them, they'll just go away. Okay, he's here somewhere. Where's this spawner at? There it is. Okay. No, there we go. Spawner. This is the house, the village house or whatever. Find a little bit of stuff. Oh, actually, redstone ore. Like I need it. I don't even care. I've got so much ore from my thing that the laser drill running. I actually turned the laser drill off because I had over like 10,000 on almost every ore type. Bats are not supposed to be spawning, but they will spawn in. I think they will spawn in old worlds, but I don't think they'll spawn so much in the newer worlds. So if you're playing an old world, you can probably expect bats. I think if you start a brand new world, the bats, he's done something to prevent as many bats. So that's the regular home. Then there's a new. This is like a duplex. Actually, there's like 4 apartments in one. There's 2 apartments on each side of this building down here. Nasty stuff in here. Yeah, we'll just get rid of that. No treasure down in here? Okay. About on this side, any treasure? No, I don't see nothing. Anything in the wall? We'll go through the other side. Ooh, ooh. Pigman with a bow. That's usually not a good thing. Lots of stuff in my inventory now. Might be something upstairs here. I don't know. Maybe like a treasure upstairs. Is there a treasure upstairs? I did help with some of these, putting together some of these houses and stuff, putting some fine touches on, but I don't know where absolutely everything is because when I see them, they look all nice and they have all their walls and they don't have any broken bits. So there was treasure on the upstairs. Okay. And he's changed all the wool, so you won't find wool all through villages anymore. Now it's actually the rock wool from thermal expansion, so not quite as useful. All the different wools and stuff, which is probably appropriate, so you don't get too much OP stuff. So that's the apartment complex. There's a little office building that you find in these villages that are just basically 2 tall little buildings. Like minor offices, maybe doctor's office or whatever. I'm not sure what it's intended. Oh, you know what? I bet there's like something cool under here. No? It's just dust. Oh, nope, treasure. Okay, nothing good. Looks like it's about to be dark though, so. Let's see. Yeah. Spawner in the typical location up here in the middle of the, yeah, there we go. Spawners. Time to sleep. Where's my... There it is. Leap it off. We don't want to be caught in a village at nighttime, that's for sure. Same as always. Okay. So yeah, there's little office buildings. You'll find these in the town. So next thing up in a town, there you will find these new gas stations. I helped a little bit with this. With these gas stations, so I kind of know where some things are going to be at in these things. Maybe there's I think something like, yeah, there's a chest there. Not always a chest there, and not always loot in it. Let's see, it should be spawner there. Yeah, we go. Oh, there's another spawner. Okay, cool. Okay, so yeah, these gas stations can be extremely dangerous. Got multiple spawners, decent chance for loot. I think that loot chance might get increased in the next update, because right now it's not crate and EnderIO blend. That's almost worth taking. But what I'm actually going to do is put some stuff in here that I don't need. Iron bars, chiseled bars, factory blocks, marble. Get all kinds of building materials. These buildings have building materials that you might not have seen in previous cities and stuff. Oh, I brought my chunk. I should have put the chunk loaders away someplace. Back at the base. But there we go, gas station. And if we dig down here, we can actually find the pump. So yeah, there's the pump. Nothing too special there though. So let's get some food. Eat some food up. So yeah, there's a gas station. You'll find these all throughout the villages. You won't find currently you won't find gas stations in the commercial or the industrial cities. That'll be changed in 1.1.4. We've got another version of the gas station coming out. There's one more place I want to show you. And this is a place that a bit proud of because I really helped quite a bit with this building right here. This is the complex, the mini mall complex. It has a diner. We get in here. I don't remember where. Don't know where things are actually at. I'm guessing. Yeah, there we go. There's supposed to be treasure in here, but I think that block got left out. So you can get note block. We got the microwave. We've got the fridge area over here. Some furnaces and stuff. Some slab furnaces there for the cooking surfaces. Anyway, so yeah, this little complex, I helped quite a bit with this. And my main contribution was the theater. So this is the entrance to the theater. And the big theater sign, big marquee. There's also a little shop over here. This is a shop, regular old shop. Let's get down in here and get past. These actually can have loot in them, but it's kind of rare. So there we go. There's one with loot. Well, I hear a bunch of mobs. Oh, they're probably in the theater. So the theater is always going to be dark. So we come in here. We got some video game machines. That's what those are kind of supposed to be. Place to sit, the regular counter where you can order your popcorn from. You can get the popcorn out of the popcorn maker. There's a little microwave there for heating up the nachos, etc., etc. Oh, there's a quest delivery system. I didn't know about that. Come up here where the manager office is. Oh, get rid of that. And a little bit of loot. No, nothing good. But the main thing is going into the theater. So let's go into the theater and take a look. It is freaking dark. And there we go. I already broke the curtains so that it wouldn't be... It's quite so dark. Yeah, it's dark in here. There's going to be tons of mobs if you go into the theater. And I'm not even sure that I can get in there to show you. What is hitting me? Oh, invisible spider coming from behind. Where'd he go? Did I kill him? I think no. Nasty buggers. So yeah, if you get in, the theater is very dangerous. Very dangerous place indeed. You can see I can't even hardly get around the corner in there to look at it. I want to show you the theater. Mini zombies, mini thing. Oh, shoot, 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 shoot. I'm in trouble. Oh. Woo. Okay, yeah. Theater, curtain, stuff, dark, dangerous, nasty. Get out of here. Oh, wait. Well, it's kind of lit up now, so. You can see up there we got the projector. Lots of bats spawn in here. This is one that'll always have an intact roof, and it'll be dark in here, and it'll be dangerous, so. I don't know if there's any treasure in there or not. I'm not going to stick around and find out. You just have to explore for yourself. You could also use that to set up like a mob farm of some kind. So yeah, there's another one of those little mini complexes right there. I think that's pretty much it. There's just a few different houses here. I showed you the regular house, showed you the diner, or well, that's the mini mall thing. Showed you the commercial building that's in the town. So this is the town, and it's buried 4 deep. I think you can find a version of this that's 10 deep, and basically at that point all you see is like the tops of the houses and like where things have caved in a bit. So we're gonna leave that and we're gonna head to the commercial city next. So I'll be back in a moment when I get to the edge of that. Okay, so here we are at the edge of commercial city. Now, you can see that there's some tall buildings. This is how you can recognize that it's commercial city. You'll have a lot of tall skyscraper type buildings. You will occasionally find in the commercial city, you will occasionally find these things, which are the pneumatic-craft factories. Or wait, is this pneumatic-craft? No, sorry. My mistake. You will occasionally find a smeltery. Smeltery is what I'm trying to say. So there we go. Cracked, scorched bricks. Can find those now. Is that Tinker's? Yeah, that's bricks. Actual, you can use those directly for making your high oven. Now these right here, crumbling scorched bricks. Dang it, I got too much stuff in my hand. Let me dump some of this stuff so I can show you the new mechanic. I want to show you how this works. I'm just going to throw a bunch of junk in here. I probably could just get rid of those loaders, but... Okay, so the crumbling scorched brick by the Rock Digger mod. What you can do with these is, if you... So most of these bricks in here you can see are these crumbling version. They're not usable in the actual building. You can this one right here, cracked scorched brick, Tinker Steelwork. You could use that directly in as part of building your high oven. These are high oven parts. I think over here, yeah, there we go. We'll find some crumbling seared brick. Again, these cannot be used in a smeltery directly, but I'll show you what to do with them here in a second. Oh, look, a casting basin. That's nice. So you can still get the casting basin. So what you do with these crumbling versions is you lay them out in the world someplace. Oh, there's like different ones. They don't stack. They don't all stack. There's a couple different ones. So definitely going to give you some more inventory issues. So you lay those out in the world. You get out your hammer from s3e55, your s3e55 hammer, and you bust these with it. There we go. I got some bricks. So then I'm going to take these scorched bricks, and eventually, if I get enough of them, I got regular bricks out of it too. Nice. You can get enough of them to make you an actual functioning piece that you can then use to build your high oven or your smeltery. Oh, look. What did I get? Grout. Okay, so this is how you can get some grout. Okay, did not know that. So you can get some seared bricks and you get some grout to make some more bricks by cooking those down. Okay, apparently you can occasionally get actual bricks too. So what you do now is you find one of these places and you break those blocks, collect those up, take them back, and use a s3e55 hammer on them. And you'll get bricks, which you can then go ahead and use to make the proper things. You can probably also get grout, apparently, if you're breaking the smeltery versions of those. So there, you will find the smelteries in the commercial cities. You will not find the pneumaticraft factories in these commercial buildings. And it looks like it's almost dark. It's almost dark time, so let me just not quite yet. I don't want to let things come out at the night. Okay, there we go. Let me say, so yeah. Not a big secret. I've been teleporting between towns just to, try to get this episode done. I found these previously. Not trying to be too survival at this point. I mean, I've basically done everything. So yeah, you'll find these high rises. Whoa. Ooh, nasty bugger he is. You gotta go. The nasty buggers. Yeah, you'll find these high rises. That's a good way to indicate that you are in a commercial city, not a industrial city. Then you'll find the office buildings and such. Let's fly up and get an aerial view of this. I don't know if there's anything else too special though. But yeah, definitely some more deteriorated versions of cities. Okay, there we go. You can also find in the commercial the store. So that's the store. Remember, it's got all those chests in it. Some of them might have loot. Most of them probably are not. But these are good places to find stuff. Sometimes. Yeah, there we go. Some stuff. Some with loot in it. Lots of glass, golden edge glass, and bunches and bunches of armor stands. I'll fly back up in there, and there's some more of these smelteries. You're going to find smelteries. Like I said, you will not find the pneumaticraft smelters or pneumaticraft factories in these commercial cities. And you'll know it's a commercial city if you see these high-rise, this thing right here, this building right here is unique to this city. The high-rise apartments, basically, is what this is. Won't find it in any of the other cities. So that's a good way to know that you're in a commercial city and not an industrial city. So you might think it's an industrial city when you see a bunch of these things in it, but if you find one of those high rises, it's actually a commercial city. You're going to find a lot more office buildings. Like I said, possibly a bunch of these smeltery places. And yeah, these little blocks right here, these vent blocks, I guess in 1.1.4, these are going to have an additional purpose. So, but we'll get into that when 1.1.4 comes out. So anyway, that's the commercial city, guys. Lots of danger, just like usual. Lots of potential loot. Not as especially. Oh yeah, there's the. I guess this would be like the town hall building. And you can see it's pretty good and destroyed, and buried and such. So I don't know what else might be under there. I don't know if the subway buildings. I haven't seen a subway building in these cities. I'll have to ask Shane where the subways spawn, or if they spawn in all the cities now, or if they are just in the commercial or just in the commercial and industrial. But yeah, I might have to ask him about where I might find a subway, because that's one of the things I haven't done in my series is go into a subway on camera and clear it out, and that is a particularly hard challenge. So I might want to do that at some point. So let's get my pack back on. There we go. My camel pack back on. And I'm going to go over to the industrial city and we'll give you a little tour of that one. Okay, here I am outside the industrial city. I thought I'd point out real quick, a number of dunes have been added. Randomly spawning dunes have been added to this version. So you may want to check these out. I'm told that you can find some good stuff underneath some of these. Sometimes you can find ore dust underneath here somewhere. I don't know where you'd find, how deep it is or whatever. I haven't dug into them too much. Not seeing anything in this particular one. I don't know how common it is or how much or where it would be under there. But supposedly some of these new dunes do have ore dust on it. I bet that one right there looks like it would be a good candidate to have ore dust in it. When we come over here to this dune real quick, I just want to see if I can find some ore dust so I can, show that it is actually available, or is actually possible to find it in these things. I don't know. Well, there it is. There it is. You see it? There's some more dust. Yeah, there's some more dust. There it is. There it is. Okay. Cool. So yeah, you definitely can find ore dust under some of these new dunes. So you want to be sure and check out the dunes, as well as the new cities for resources. So let's do a flyby first of the industrial city. So we can see right off the bat that in this industrial city it has a power, a reactor building. So this is basically the only places you're going to find reactor buildings are in the industrial cities. You can see lots of nasties down in there. I don't even want to think about opening that. Wow. That is like 20 times more dangerous than it used. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spawners at the top. Yeah, that's super deadly there. Super deadly. There's quite a bit of change. You can kind of see down there the reactor blocks. So he's done something similar where you have to get the broken reactor bits and then fix them in order to be able to make certain parts. In order to craft certain parts, or gives an additional option. So if we look at reactor parts, not a very good time to do this, or not a very good place to be doing this. So we look at the reactor parts in here, we can see that it now requires a broken turbine controller. So you're not going to find the turbine controller just laying around in a city anymore. You're going to find the broken version, and then you're going to have to repair it with all this stuff. The same thing with the reactor controller now. So you're going to find just a fully functional reactor controller. You're going to find the broken version of it, and then you're going to have to fix it with all this stuff. And I think There we go. If we see the reactor casing and we look at recipes, or maybe it's usages. Ah, there we go. You can take a broken reactor, a rusted reactor casing, and fix it up with a steel ingot to get a new one. You are still going to be able to create your own reactor casings, no problem, from scratch. But the ones that you find in a city are no longer going to be fully functional. They're going to be this rusted version, and you'll have to do a little bit to them to make them work. All right, so we're in an industrial city. This is a 10 deep, buried 10 deep city. You can see that when you come across one of these 10 deep cities, some of the buildings are not at all visible from the surface, other than like some holes in the dust. You can come down in here. We can see this is a warehouse. This is one of the newer buildings, warehouse. They've got garage doors and stuff. I don't see any treasure in there, so I'm just going to come up out of there. This is the only city where you're going to find the pneumaticraft structures, and you're going to recognize those pneumaticraft structures by the yellow and white factory blocks. So if I come down in here, this should be, yeah, there we go. This is the pneumaticraft factory. Oh, cool. And we have a charging station in here and a pneumatic helmet. That's nice. That's kind of a nice find. Also, you can see the pressure chamber walls. Corroded pressure chamber walls are going to have to be repaired, similar to the way you'd have to repair the reactor casings. In fact, let's see. Can we just grab one of those? Let's dump something there. Okay, and if we look at usages of this, so if all we got to do is add a piece of compressed iron to it, we're going to get back to having a regular pressure chamber wall. It appears that like not every one of the walls in here are going to be rusted, so you're going to find a few fully useful blocks, but the other ones you're going to have to like take back and repair them with some good materials. Okay, let me get up out of here. So there's the pneumaticraft. Now, once you find one of these industrial cities, and they are extremely rare, you could possibly get lucky, and then again you could search for hours and go through 50 cities before you finally find one of these. It's just going to depend on your luck. But once you do find an industrial city, you're pretty much set, because you're going to have tons and tons of these pneumaticraft buildings and bunches of yeah, there we go. We can see the regular forge buildings, or foundries, I guess we want to call those foundries, where you can get the blocks, dang it, for your smeltery. There we go. Smeltery buildings. Foundries. These are the foundries. Those are the industrial craft, or the pneumaticraft factories. You're going to be able to recognize them by the difference in their chimney. Same as before, but you're only going to find the pneumaticraft buildings in this industrial city. You'll also only find the reactors in the industrial city as well. And they are rare. So if you don't find one at first, just keep looking. Don't get discouraged. It's all, like I said, it's all a matter of luck, and sometimes it takes quite a while before you can actually find one. So let me sleep off this nighttime again. I think I've covered all of the changes, or all the major changes in 1.1.3. If I haven't, I'll try to remember to post in the comments about what I might have forgotten. Like I said, major changes to recipes. Reactors are a lot harder now. Well, I don't know if I would say a lot harder now, but they require a little more effort. You can't just like loot them and put them together. You gotta like do a little bit of crafting with them now. The whole smeltery thing, it's not quite as easy as it used to be. You gotta collect those blocks, break them with a hammer, put together new bricks, etc., etc. But at the same time, some new cool things have been added. New treasure loot. So now there's a reason to tear down these dunes. You can find ores in the middle of them. And yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's all I can show you at this point. Anything else that I want to show you, I can't. I have to wait. A little bit longer. But expect the next episode that I put together for Crash Landing. That's going to include some stuff that's going to be released in 1.1.4. So I think I'm going to call this an episode, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this this informative episode about what's new in 1.1.3. I hope that helps you survive your crash landing experience and convert over. If you're used to the old ways, you're gonna have to do something different for food now if you were relying on tofu. And if you don't have your smelter yet, it's gonna be possibly a little bit more complicated to get it now. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. If you did, be sure and leave a like, a comment, thumbs up, all of that fun stuff. Go check out the Crash Landing website, link in the description for all things crash related. And till next time, I will catch you later.